Oh, yeah, here.
Stolen
We will
valor.
always support you. Just don't sell out, and we will follow you to Valhalla. AF. Christ is king.
Don't sell out. Oh, okay. I was going to, but then you told me not
Logan
to.
304 sent $100. I was recently turned on to a Dan Bilzerian interview that really opened my eyes about the world. Luckily, I found your content soon after and have since dove in. Just wanted to say thanks and that I'm now a yearly plus member. You should definitely get with Dan sometime. I'd love to hear you all talk.
Hey, thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we might do an interview. He's just got to chill a little bit with the whole, like, give me a gun and send me to, it's like, okay. Did you see his interview with SNEAKO today? I love Dan. Great guy. Great guy. Very solid. Very good friend.
When that happened, I told you, I was like, hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm going to get banned again. I really thought it was cooked. I'm happy that that interview did not. Whew, Dan does not mince words. That's for sure. You don't really have to wonder where Dan Bilzerian stands on anything.
And we've had some disagreements and we've gotten into some heated arguments, but he's a good dude. I say that sincerely, and I like him a lot. But he goes on SNEAKO for an interview this evening, and he says, the only country we should go to war with is Israel. We need to wipe them off the fucking map. Give me a gun. And I'm like, whoa. All right, chill. Some of us like being alive. All right, relax. He said that on SNEAKO, and SNEAKO goes, okay, Dan Bilzerian, everybody. He starts laughing his ass off. It's like, bro, stop, chill, please. Relax. Like, oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me, aren't they? Yeah, they're gonna kill me. He says, I'm like, oh, he has no chill like that. Once he's into something, yeah, he's all in. And here's the thing, okay? I'm not saying exterminate Israel. I hope that doesn't sound like cucking. I'm a Christian. And let me actually be serious for a second. I am starting to see what Tucker Carlson means when he says we're against blood guilt. Now, here's the thing. I do believe that does tend to take away from the Jewishness of all of this. It is Jewish peoplehood and their chauvinism, their paranoia, their histrionics, their insularity, tribalness that has created the Zionist ideology. It also comes from the religion. It proceeds from the religion. That being said.
Right. That's why I don't think it should be called Zionism anymore. We got to be specific about it. It's Jewish supremacy. The Epstein files proved it. The use of the word goyim in those files, and Epstein was definitely an Israeli spy. It's rooted to the fact that so many Jews, not all, believe that they are better than every non-Jew. That's what's created the state of Israel. That's how they justified indiscriminate wars. And it's so much. Why am I at 11,000 viewers right now? But let's call it what it is. The state of Israel, it's not fascist. And I think that using that word Zionist, fascist, that distracts from the bigger issue. Israel is a Jewish state. It's not anti-Semitic to point it out. That's what's true. Did someone host me or did somebody bot me? Because I randomly just jumped up to 11,000 viewers.
I do believe that if we're going to win, we have to recognize that there are going to be people in Israel that don't go along with this. There's going to be Jews that are not going along with this. And it doesn't mean that we all of a sudden say, oh, well, Judaism's fine. Look, I'm Catholic. That's not a way to get to the Father. It just isn't. Jesus didn't say, well, you can get to the Father through me, or if you don't flick the lights on and off on Saturday. He said nobody gets to the Father except through me. I still believe they're going to hell, okay, unless there's some kind of universal salvation. That being said, we are going to need to count on the good-naturedness, the conscience. I think of people from all walks of life. And ultimately,
see, I don't know if that's correct, because the Catholic Church, and if you're Catholic, you have to believe in the Vatican, right there, the authority of the church. They say that Muslims worship the Father. Nick said, I'm not saying this to be divisive, but he did say that he thinks that Islam is a satanic religion. He thinks that Muslims worship Satan. But the church says Muslims worship the Father. But they don't believe, the difference is we believe Jesus is the Messiah, but you don't need to get through Jesus to get to God. Muslims just pray to God. That's from the Vatican. And are you saying Catholic Church says Muslims go to heaven? But Nick disagrees, which I don't think is supposed to be, you're not supposed to follow that line of logic as a Catholic.
we're going to need to be spiritually better. We're going to need to be spiritually better. We're going to need to be Christ-like. Some people see that as weakness. I don't think that's weakness. When Christ was arrested and his disciple pulled out a sword to try to defend him, Christ said, hey, put down the sword, live by the sword, die by the sword. He said, forgive them. They don't know what they do. Later on, he said that. And I think we have to follow that example. And honestly, SNEAKO said I was mocking the Ayatollah. I wasn't mocking the Ayatollah. I was mocking people like Scott Ritter, who thinks that people like him, who think that that is the way you're going to win a war. I don't know that you win tactically the conflict that way. But here's the thing about the Ayatollah. And I said this on Elijah Schaffer. Consider that the Ayatollah of Iran is in a fortified bunker. He has a 200,000-man army of religious zealot loyalists. His country is a fortress, a mountain fortress built on top of missile factories and nuclear centrifuges. And Israel could get him. If they could get him, they could get Trump, They could get you, they could get me, they could get anybody. Now,
Okay, quickly, let me point something out. Someone just bought in my stream. It wasn't me. I think I have around 5,000 viewers right now. My kick dashboard is saying 16,000 viewers. This could be somebody trying to throttle my stream, trying to discredit me. What they're going to try to do is say that SNEAKO is botting his viewers, so Kick needs to do this, Kick needs to do that. This happens very frequently because publicly the CFO and the CEO, Ed Craven and Santa Maria, they said that I deserve credit for not botting. So let me quickly show you what's going on. Let me go discredit this stuff because someone is trying to throttle and ruin my streaming career. Someone botted the stream. It's not me. It's not 16K. It's probably 5K. Let me quickly show the Kick revenue because Kick revenue you can't bot. These are the numbers that don't change. If 16K, it's probably 5K. Let me quickly show the Kick revenue because Kick revenue you can't bot. These are the numbers that don't change. If 16K, it's probably 5K. Let me quickly show the Kick revenue because Kick revenue you can't bot. These are the numbers that don't change. If 16K, it's probably 5K. Whoops. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me go. Let's beat this. We have to fight back with these clips. Okay, let me show you. Kick revenue. $41,000. Yesterday, made around 9K, 10K, 8.5, 13K, and almost 14K here. This is reflective of around 5,000 to 10,000 live viewers, and I do a lot of hours. So if I had 16,000 live viewers, which someone just botted, it would be much more. It's fake. Hit up Kick support. Okay, I'm going to message them right now.
that might scare you and that might make you feel vulnerable. And that's what they're counting on. They're counting on people to be so afraid, clinging to the world, their lives, their stuff, their reputation.
Chat, say mashallah. Chat, say mashallah. No evil eye. Say mashallah.
Nations, even their family, to not give up for the truth. But that's sort of what we have to be willing to do, is make the ultimate sacrifice. It's very serious. And if you think we're going to beat them by being more hateful than them, you're not. If you think we're going to beat them by being more militaristic than them, you're not. Look at how militaristic Iran was. Look at how hateful, quote unquote, they were. They had some animosity, and, you know, Israel won. The devil enables them, and the devil is smarter than people. So I really believe the only way you win this is a spiritual battle. It is. Something spiritual is going on. You have to be Christ-like. God is upholding us with his hand. We have to believe in him. You have to have faith. Oh, ye of little faith. You have to have faith.
I agree. I think we should be Christ-like. I agree. That's not incorrect, right? I could say, yeah. I want to act like Christ. I want to follow Jesus' teachings. I want to act Christ-like.
So I get the sentiment. I really do. I understand the frustration, but we can't give in to that. We do have to be Christ-like. And, you know, we're all going to fall short and make hypocrites of all of us. But we do have to try. We do have to try. So I appreciate that. And I love Dan. And I think maybe we'll do a collab sometime. You just got to promise not to, like, try to get me killed by saying something like that. I'm like, bro, it's like, oh my gosh, we gotta work on that maybe.
Circle 2 boost Alvaro sent $50. Hey,
Still
Nick,
in
we always
valid.
support-
Wait, so he's saying that am I going to be targeted because of what Dan said on my stream? Is that what he's insinuating? Ay. Just become Christian. Nope, bro. I just want to worship God and God alone. That's my religion. It's not going to change. It is what it is. Respect everybody.